Here in Fortnite, Chapter 4, they have recently unbolted the FAMAS. So today we're going to be looking over all the stats of the FAMAS. Let's go over all of the common things that it has between all the rarities, and then we'll get into the differences. Of course, it's an assault rifle, so it's going to take medium bullets, and then it's also going to have a fire rate of 3.95 and a magazine size of 20. The critical hit damage is via 1.5 times multiplayer differences now, and see how good each rarity really is between each other. Starting off things with the common version of the burst assault rifle, we're going to be looking at a DPS of 122 and a grand total damage per shot of 31. This comes out to a 46 critical hit damage and a reload time of 2.86. Uncommon version has a slight increase from the 122 that we see all the way to 126, but the damage per shot only goes up by 1, and that will make the critical hit damage go up to 48 per shot, with a reload time that decreases slightly to 2.73 seconds. Going to the rare version of the FAMAS, we're going to be looking at a damage per second of 134 with an overall damage per shot of 34 and a critical hit damage at 51. So we're going to see a little bit bigger increase between the uncommon and rare that we didn't see in the common and the uncommon. Going from the rare to the epic, we're going to see another big increase, going from the previous 134 DPS all the way to 142, and the overall damage per shot at 36. So again, only going up by 2, making the critical hit damage 54. And the reload time goes to 2.47, and the reload time for the rare is only 2.6. From the epic to the legendary though, it does something that we don't normally see in Fortnite. Usually we see a gigantic increase between the epic and legendary versions of these weapons, but in the FAMAS, we don't actually get that. We only see your normal increase of 1 damage. So the DPS will go up to 146, previously 142, with an overall damage of 37 per hit, and the reload time going down to 2.34, and your critical hit being at 55 compared to 54 of the epic version. So not a big increase that we normally would see, but still good nonetheless. So it's important to know that anything from the rare version up, you can actually get a critical hit and break somebody's overdrive in just that one shot. It is important to know too that the burst assault rifle is a hit scan weapon, and it has first shot accuracy. Damage fall off. Damage fall off begins at 50 meters away from your target, and then damage will steadily decrease down to 80% of its maximum at 75 meters. So between the 50 meter mark and the 75 meter mark, you're only going to be able to do an 80% of its total damage. Once you get between the 75 and 95 meter mark, the gun will go down to 66% of its overall damage. This gun is not going to be the greatest at super long ranges. It is more geared for that medium to slight long range, but you want to keep it within those 50 meters. It's not going to be the greatest for taking down structures because it's a burst rifle. So the best way to pair this gun up and utilize it to the best of its ability is to actually pair it with a high fire rate SMG. So there was a lot of interesting facts that went on with the FAMAS here in Fortnite. So in the pre-season, we actually get to see this gun be called the semi-auto rifle, and only the common, uncommon, and rare rarities got added into Fortnite. The reason I've been calling it the FAMAS F1 this entire time is because that's what the burst assault rifle is actually modeled after in real life, which has actually been a gun that was started in France and is still in service since 1978. The real life version of the FAMAS is actually shooting 5.56 by 45 millimeter NATO rounds, and is also able to shoot 900 to 1100 rounds per minute.